Well, congratulations on finishing the first chapter of the Latin textbook. I hope it went well. I'm sure it went well. But if not, that's okay, because now is the time to revise and consolidate. We turn to a little extra workbook, which goes over the material once again, and that's what we're going to have a look at now. This week, you should have received a copy of this document, the workbook, Workbook 1A, that goes with Latin Prep, the textbook you've been using so far. So when we open it and scroll down to the first page, we'll find the work you've been asked to do for this week. All of the exercises on this page, exercise 1.1, 1.2 and 1.3. Let's zoom in and have a look before we get going. It asks us to learn the information about singular and plural nouns in Latin Prep 1, page 6. Now, your teachers may or may not have asked you to learn those things, but certainly it's worth knowing and noticing that this exercise concerns that information. So let's just revise and have a look at page 6 in the textbook. This will be familiar to you. You've done this work already. And there at the bottom of the page is the information on singular and plural. Once again, let's zoom in and have a look. Nouns in Latin, just as in English, can be either singular or plural. In English, we generally but not always make a noun plural by adding s. In Latin, it's rather more complicated than this, but if the noun ends in a, like agricola or puella, it changes to ae in the plural. So there's puella, the girl, but the girls are puellae, P-U-E-L-L-A-E, and the same rule applies for farmers. All right, we've got that. Let's go back to the workbook. Exercise 1.1, state whether the following nouns are singular or plural and then translate. Oh, a little asterisk there means there's a note. We'd better try and find it. It links to an asterisk at the bottom of the page. Whoops. All nouns are in the nominative case. All right, so we don't need to worry about subjects or objects or anything like that. All we need to do is think of the nominative singular and the nominative plural. All right, where were we? Well, I don't know if you remember the information that we just looked at on page 6 of the textbook, but I can tell you once again, if a noun ends in a, like puella or agricola, it is singular. Puella is a girl or the girl. Agricola is a farmer or the farmer. And if it ends in ae, then it is plural. And that's all you're being asked to do. Does this word end in a or ae? It's almost insultingly easy. It's just a matter of remembering and being absolutely sure about which is which. Obviously, now tie is plural. Hold on and then translate. A little bit of vocabulary work too. Now tie is going to be plural, but oh, have we remembered or forgotten what a nauta is? Well, on this same page, if we look up at the top, we find the vocabulary you're going to need, and there is nauta, meaning a sailor. Back to the exercise. If nauta is a sailor, nautai are sailors. So you will write here plural sailors. Now, most of these words are going to be familiar to you, but I've noticed that once or twice they will use a word that you haven't come across yet. Not to worry. Firstly, aqua, probably not difficult for you to guess, but perhaps later on, down here for example, there's a word you don't know. And that's why your teachers have provided you this week also with a vocabulary list. And it's very, very straightforward. It's clearly alphabetical. So here are the words beginning with A and moving down, aqua is there. It means water. And you should be able to find insula as well. Here they go. H-I, ibi, igitur, incola, insula. Whoops, I've overdone too many. I want this one. I can't do this very well. But there it is, insula, an island. And we'll remember that when we come to do the next exercise in just a minute. So to recap, exercise 1.1 is basically asking you, does the word end in A or AE? If it ends in A, you write that it is singular. If it ends in AE, you write that it is plural. If it is plural, of course, in English, the translation will have an S. So answer number 1, plural sailors. I'll not insult your intelligence any further by doing the rest for you. Moving down to exercise 1.2. Change these nouns from the singular to the plural and translate the new form, and that asterisk says the same thing as it said a minute ago, all nouns in the nominative case. So basically you're taking a word that ends in A, which is singular, and you're making it plural by adding not an S, that would be English, you add an E. So for number 1 you will write I-N-S-U-L-A-E and translate the new form. What was insula? Have you forgotten? Insula, down here, an island. All right. I-N-S-U-L-A-E, not island anymore, but islands, because the new form is plural. It's going to be the same all the way down. This is really an exercise in consolidating. You're just making sure that you know this stuff. Of course you understand it, and for now you know it, but after you've done it 5 times, you'll know it that little bit better. And exercise 1.3 is the same in reverse. Whoops. Feminae, poetae, dei, you can see that they all have the same ending, and this time the ending is plural. So feminae mean women, but we are told now to change it from the plural to the singular. So instead of ending in AE, the noun will now end in A. In other words, scribble off the E all the way down. And here you write femina, F-E-M-I-N-A. Oh, don't forget to translate the new form in the nominative case. That doesn't really matter for English. So you've written F-E-M-I-N-A and then you must write woman. You'll get a mark for writing femina, a mark for writing woman. I hope you'll get 2 marks for this one and for all the rest, and you'll end up with all the marks on the page.